The number one reason the Chiefs won.
Because they're champs, and they weren't going to go out like that. And I know they're not the defending Super Bowl champs, but they are the 3-time defending AFC champs. They have won the conference 5 of the last 6 years. They have played for the conference championship 7 consecutive seasons. And their season was not ending at home before Thanksgiving at the hands of Daniel Jones. And everyone was going to have a hand in it not ending that way. Because this was not purely a Patrick Mahomes pulls it out the fire. And Patrick played really well in the fourth quarter and overtime, but they also did have a 3-and-out in the fourth quarter. You know, when they the 4th and 3 to Rasheed was, I think it was the 4th down pass to Rasheed that was, Rasheed had to do more of that work than Patrick did. But defensively, they took the number one scoring offense, the number one everything offense, the number one, oh my God, how much you got to respect the culture, else you don't respect football offense, and made them look terrible. They made Jonathan Taylor look pedestrian, which no one's been able to do. I'm going to go ahead and say ever in his football life. Oh. Certainly not at Wisconsin, and no one in the NFL. I doubt anyone in high school did. And Xavier Worthy came through on a huge 3rd and 7. Rasheed finally, for the first time since his first game back from the suspension, looked like how he did before the suspension. And then Patrick, of course, did Patrick things in the most clutch moments. Butker, who has been shaky all year, they weren't tough kicks, but hit clutch kick after clutch kick. And Steve Spagnuolo dialed up a run blitz on the sneaky forgotten play of the game is 3rd and 1 in overtime. They did give it to Jonathan Taylor after putting the game in Daniel Jones's hands. And I think if he gets 0 yards, they go for it. But he lost 2 yards. And so listen, the Chiefs, Danny, and myself, as you witnessed, were
going through it.
I'm going through it because it looked like, I always tweet never a doubt, but there was a little tiny doubt doubts creeping in. But they weren't going to go out like that, and that's why they won.
So, what I'm going to say, I feel like will be taken as taking something away from the Chiefs, and I really don't mean it to, because you have the Chiefs part of it covered. I give them the benefit of the doubt. Also, that game to me felt a lot like last year, where the Chiefs were 12-0 in one-score games, and they were 15-2, and we woke up and we were like, are they good? How did that happen? The Bengals committed a penalty, and then they made a 50-yard field goal, or there was a blocked kick. It was just weird. The Colts lost their minds. They were up, 20-9 entering the fourth quarter, and they had the guy who is 3rd in the NFL for MVP odds, and they're like, I don't know. I just don't think he should be involved in the game plan anymore. That was one of the most lopsided, or it was the most lopsided, fourth quarter and overtime in terms of 2 teams against each other in 3 years. I can show it to you in terms of yardage differential, and it was just, what happened? The Chiefs outgained the Colts by 218 yards over the course of fourth quarter and overtime, and Jonathan Taylor had 3 rush attempts. He had 1 yard. They gained 0 first downs. Nick, we're watching the game together, and we could have had a counter, because we're like, that's 3 consecutive pass attempts for Daniel Jones. That's 4.
They did 8 straight at one point.
Got to 8. What? Yeah. With a double-digit lead on the Chiefs in the fourth quarter.
That's okay because Daniel Jones has to be respected, and he's not going to turn into a pumpkin, and he's obviously, you know what I mean? He's been on the – he's like that's – the thing is –
not as good as Jonathan Taylor.
I get it, but Jonathan Taylor was being shut down. And the whole – this is where – and I don't mean to interrupt.
I know.
But the reason that you have been forced – you got to respect the Colts. You have to take the Colts seriously. Make it not just about the uniforms, understand what they're doing is a different Daniel Jones. And the Colts in that game treated Daniel Jones the way many in the media have been demanding he be treated. Respect him.
Yeah.
And if you are a legitimate franchise quarterback, a guy that the Colts clearly believe in, they traded away their ability to draft a quarterback. They're going to give him a bunch of money, and the other team is loading the box and daring you to throw. And by the way, everyone's been able to – the Chiefs can't get a pass rush. Bo Nix threw on them. Herbert threw on them. They've had, Daniel Jones, go show everybody. Go make a couple plays. And the Colts, I think, bought into the hype a little bit yesterday that Daniel Jones was going to be able to do that, and he flatly was not able to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with the Colts because I agree with what you guys said about the Chiefs. They showed championship mettle. There's no question about it. And Danny, I think they showed why, while they're certainly not head and shoulders above the rest of the AFC, I think it's very close.
Yeah.
But if they get in the playoffs, they should be the favorites in the AFC. Even if they're not a great team, they barely get in, they're 9-8, whatever it might be, just because of that medal and that recent success, you have to favor them. The Colts got exposed. They did get exposed. They shut down Jonathan. The Chiefs said Taylor's not beating us. And the teams that have beaten the Colts this year have done the exact same thing. So the Rams, they held Jonathan Taylor, held him to 76 yards on 17 carries. That's 4.5 yards a carry. Jones couldn't deliver a win. Pittsburgh they were harder on him than Kansas City. They held him to 45 yards on 14 carries. Daniel Jones couldn't beat him. Yesterday we saw with the Chiefs. In all three of those losses, Jonathan Taylor has failed to score a touchdown rushing the football. So they've said, he's not beating us. Can your quarterback beat us? And the quarterback hadn't been able to. And so now, here's the other thing. And I think and people are going to laugh when I say, I think the Colts will make the playoffs.
Oh, it's not a lot.
The schedule is a monster.
And yes.
They got Houston twice, which is starting to play well. Jacksonville twice, and then Seattle and San Francisco.
Yes,
all good, tough teams that they have to play.
They'll make it. I think they'll make it.
I would think so, but come on, they're gonna have to earn it. And if they beat Houston and Jacksonville, fine.
The one last thing: when did Daniel Jones stop running? That's the other part, that I was as a Chiefs fan nervous about, that there was going to be one of these times where they actually cover it all up, and then Daniel Jones does what Herbert did on the play to ice that game. It's okay, I can just run. And it seemed like he wasn't even looking for that.
But remember, he took a ton of hits in New York, and he's just,
that's a big part of his game, or it should.
He's a great runner.
Great athlete.
Not just good. How seriously should everyone take the Bears?
Very seriously. Very seriously. They're going to the playoffs. Okay. They're 8-3. They're playing for the 2 seed on Black Friday against the champs. They're sixth in total yards, 8th in scoring, 2nd in rushing, 1st in takeaways,
27th in scoring defense.
They've won 8 of their last 9. Brew, they had 5 defensive starters out with injury. 2 more defensive starters get injured during the game. They held the Steelers to 7 points in the second half.
Well,
I'm just saying. I mean, are they a great team? No. Are they good in this parlance of how we talk about the NFL? Absolutely. What more do you want? They're beating who's on their schedule.
A defense that's not 27th in scoring.
They'll get healthy.
Okay?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people are hurt. I don't want to hear that. Here's the other thing.
Oh, my God.
They may make the play. I think they're the 3rd best team in their division.
Based on what, though? That's what I would ask.
They have beat one team with a winning record. Pittsburgh, with Mason Rudolph playing quarterback. They have, now look,
it's not who you play, but when you play
who's in front of you. But when you put a good team in front of them, they get shellacked. All right? Detroit beat them by a mile. 52-21, was that the score?
I'm not here to talk about
here's the thing. You've got the Green Bay twice and Detroit again. So you're going to have a chance to prove it. I think you may make the playoffs, but I think Green Bay and Detroit are better. And we'll see. You get your chance to prove it.
So here's what I think everyone's gut is, Detroit's obviously better, and Green Bay, should be better. Based on this season, I don't know that we can say that. You're right, Detroit killed them early in the year. I understand that. Detroit is damn lucky to not have lost yesterday.
Yes.
Detroit is changing coordinators. Detroit is dealing, while you're right, everybody's injured in different ways. The Laporta injury is big for them. It took Gibbs having an all-time game and them hitting a 60-yard field goal for them just to get to overtime against the Giants. So based on what we've seen from Detroit this year, I don't know that they're clearly better than Chicago. I understand they crushed them head-to-head, which matters, but matters less as we are months removed from it, and we'll see what they look
like early in the season.
And Green Bay, I'm yet to be impressed by Green Bay over the course of 60 minutes. I'm pretty consistently impressed by their defense. So, that would be my argument. Is I think you can make a case for any of those three teams that they have the highest upside or that they are the best in that division. So if we're going to take the Lions and Packers seriously, I'll take the Bears seriously.
But seriously, what is seriously? I mean, they may make the playoffs. I take them seriously to make the playoffs.
They have as good of a chance to make the conference championship game as any team in the NFC North. Because now that the Lions are going to be going outdoors for the playoffs, I don't know that I like Goff or Love outdoors more than I like Caleb. I don't know that. I like
Jordan Love.
I like Love.
I don't. I like Caleb. I think Caleb is a better player than Jordan Love. I think Goff is obviously higher in the quarterback pecking order than Caleb, but Goff outdoors worries me.
Also, can we I can't argue the pedigree stuff, and I can't argue who they've beaten. But we can apply that logic to a ton of teams in the NFL. The Patriots are the 1 seed, and they have 10 wins. But if you do a side-by-side comparison of just the bones
they beat Buffalo and Tampa Bay.
They beat Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 1 game over 500. They're 6-5.
Yeah, but just Buffalo.
Okay. And listen,
I said, y'all beat one
I picked Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl, and some of the teams on the Bears' schedule have not been as good as we thought they were going to be, and they lost to Baltimore with Snoop Huntley and gave up 30 points. That's not a great moment for them. But in terms of we could put it up, strength of schedule, strength of victory, they each have 6 1-score wins. They've played the 2 easiest schedules so far this year, and they're scoring the same number of points, and they're both in first place.
I'll rest my case.
Well, but that's a thing. But we talk about the Patriots like they could go to the Super Bowl.
Patriots have a better defense. That's a big difference.
It's a huge – it is. I agree with you. Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Kyler Gordon, and Jalen Johnson all should be back at some point this year. Jalen's their best defensive player. That's 3 of their, 5 best defensive players on the team. Bears defense should get better as the season goes on.
I'm going to start calling you the doctor. I love talking about injuries.
Yeah,
whether it's the Chargers or the Bears. But everybody's got injuries.
Yeah, but it puts context into what you're watching.
Patriots also have injuries.
Yeah, but they just suffered them. So the difference is, your concerning injuries are the ones that just happened.
Yeah.
The
Bears have been doing it all year.
Niners have injuries.
I am personally, I'm not interested in injuries about guys that aren't coming back. Mm-hmm. I am interested in, this has been a weakness, but these guys are going to come back. And if those Bears guys, if the biggest question is the defense, and it's like, hey, half the defense is coming back, that would be helpful. Just like for the Patriots, if they all of a sudden look awful over the next 3 weeks, but it's like, hey, our left tackle and left guard are coming back in week 18, that'll matter.
It's hard for us to look awful. And Danny, I don't know if we have Caleb's interception. It's not an interception. It's a fumble in the end zone. The reason why, the big difference, and this is going to be a fuzzy analysis, but it's true. When you watch the Patriots and the Bears, this type of wacky stuff just doesn't happen when you're wearing a New England Patriots
That's true,
uniform.
but Caleb hasn't thrown a pick 6 as bad as the one Drake threw yesterday his whole career. His whole career he hasn't. Drake's pick 6 yesterday was not pressured. It was not tough coverage. He just sailed it.
He just sailed it. He was just loose with one pass.
No, and but how is that different than this?
Because this is weird situational awareness of getting sacked, of running away from TJ Watt in the end zone and then getting tossed
Caleb's
out.
escaped everything this year. He got sacked 68 times last year. He's been sacked 17 times in 11 games. This was a mistake. It was a bad moment.
It's an odd play. I'm just saying there's a lower floor for the Bears quarterback play than there is for Drake May.
Oh, listen, I agree with that.
There's a lot of stuff you said.
No, I agree, but I think that I guess my point, I agree with that. But I think the single worst throw Drake's made all year, he made yesterday. And
the Drake's interception was so
bad.
Yeah. It was just like it wouldn't show up in any high. If you were producing a blooper show and be like, put this play in, you'd be like, well, he just kind of just lost the ball a little
right,
bit.
and I guess that you, for some reason you're deciding that means it's fine.
You are
and
really all in.
I just don't know that other
wacky stuff happening.
I don't know that other people view it the way
It was
you do.
just so bad that it
You're
doesn't
totally
count.
right.
Look at it. It's not that bad of a throw. It's just a miss. It wasn't a bad decision. It almost felt like a hand mistake. It wasn't like a mental mistake.
I got it.
Just like I was like, oh,
I just
sorry
think-
about
I
that.
think that
It was like this. This is what it was like. It was like if you ever
He
taken
just
a
wanted to
ball
keep them
of
in the
paper,
game. Make it exciting.
take a ball of paper and throw it to the garbage. It felt like a missed jump shot, honestly, and he just missed it. You're like, oh, be like, wow, that's the worst shot I've ever seen. It's like it was a missed 12-foot jumper.
KW, I'm just telling
That's
you.
not going on the NBA's wacky
think-
days.
Pick six.
KW, I think you're the only person who's drawing some major distinction there. That's all.
If you think Drake May's pick six in that play
No,
running
I don't-
away
I
from
don't-
TJ Watt when he's getting tossed around and given the
I don't think that. I think that your decision just that pass was so bad it doesn't count. And in fact, I'm going to
it
compare
counts,
it
but
to
it's not the
throwing
worst
something-
play in the
missing a
world.
little jump
We
shot.
also have 2 more wins.
You do.
Like take all the
you played
who
an
else has
extra
two?
game.
Who has the Jets or the Titans? How many wins the Jets have?
God only knows. I imagine
2 more games, a lot of games. It's a quarter of your games. We have a quarter more.
Played an extra game.
He's really in on.
Why we have
I
a quarter
see.
more?
Much easier.
we gotta
division.
move on.
If you're
It's
6
much
feet
easier
tall and I'm
division.
6'8", we're not the same height.
Wow.
Is that not true? Not even a
The
quarter.
defense rests.
listen,
I would be 8 feet tall.
KW, we got to move.
6'8".
KW, Danny,
Well, he's out here saying the
apologize for
Bears are the
invoking
Patriots.
Patriots.
I'm 8 feet tall.
I mean, my
They
God.
both have played
Who's got me?
terrible
I'm 8
schedules.
feet tall. He's 6 feet tall. Danny, what was the headline for you? The Eagles collapse or the Cowboys come back?
The Cowboys come back. I was shocked that they're almost 7-1 to make the playoffs at this point. It doesn't seem that ridiculous to me all of a sudden. You split with Kansas City and Detroit, and then you got to run the table. And I know running the table is tough, and it involves Chargers and a couple of road division games, but their offense is legit. And even if they don't, I just think all of a sudden, if you're a Cowboy fan, you can look at this and be like, man, we are building something here. And Troy, listen, you can laugh, Drew. Troy is the researcher for the OT, named after Aikman, diehard Cowboys fan. He wanted to remind me of this fact. And it's kind of amazing. If you just give Dak a league average defense, league average is 23.1 points allowed. So if you just say,
You mean this year if they had a league average?
But
Okay.
what's the Cowboys' record over the last 5 years if they allow 23 points per game or less? They're the best team in football.
Wow.
The best team in football.
Wow.
So I don't know.
You know what?
It's just like
if you gave them Derrick Henry too,
No, oh my
I bet
God.
they might be the best team in football.
Wait a
How
minute.
about Mahomes on the Cowboys? I mean, I like Dak, but if they had Mahomes, oh my God, they might have won a Super Bowl.
Okay, that backfired.
I'm just saying, like, really? Really?
I knew that. Troy, I knew that was going to go back. Brew doesn't like
sorry,
those.
Troy. I'm just
Brew doesn't-
saying.
that was my idea.
How did you hate that? I didn't
That's my
see that.
idea.
I laughed. That's not why I laughed when you said the playoff thing, no, when you said Cowboys fans can be like, oh, here we got something going, even if they don't make the playoffs. Because here I laugh because you know what they could say? We might be where we were 3 years ago.
Sure.
With Mike McCarthy. That's the thing. This has all been turned around. Even though you got essentially the same players now, minus Micah Parsons because of your own foolishness. At best, you're getting back to where you were a few years ago. Your quarterback ain't getting any younger. He's not in his second year
but
like
he's
Drake
playing
May.
great,
He's
bro.
playing
He's
great, but
awesome.
I'm just saying, it's win now. It's not about let's keep building. It is win now. And I don't think they have a great chance to make the playoffs this year. I agree with you. I think that's the story. Because they are, like I said earlier, I'm not arguing they may not be a playoff caliber team now. I just think it's probably too little too late with that schedule.
I don't know.
I don't think that's the bigger story. There was one team on the field yesterday that can win the Super Bowl, and that's Philadelphia. And they have they have had major offensive problems all year long. One of the best players on their team has been sounding the alarm Again, maybe in inopportune ways, but he hasn't been wrong, and it showed again yesterday. They scored at, with no effort. I shouldn't say no effort, but effortlessly is what I meant to say. First 3 possessions, and then could do nothing else the rest of the way. There's no reason for that to be the case. Their superstar running back this year has been replacement level. Their quarterback, head coach, offensive coordinator, and star receiver seem to be in some weird proxy battle where we don't know who's on whose side, and I don't see a solution. The Cowboys, Quinnen Williams is a very good player. He does not remake a defense by himself. Everybody gets right against the Cowboys defense. This team didn't. That's, to me, the bigger story.
Quinnen Williams had career-high pressures in this
No,
game.
he was excellent. I mean,
Again?
It was great.
Because his first game, he had
Yeah.
career-high quarterback hits.
Yeah, he's playing great.
He's everything.
I understand, they're like the Bengals last year. If the Bengals defense all of a sudden
that's
got
a good
good.
one.
So there was a lot going on there.
I like it.
What was your biggest takeaway from Shedeur's day?
Shedeur Sanders can be the solution the Cleveland Browns are looking for at quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah, and I said it. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear it, but I love it. I love the moxie. I love his confidence. See, as he showed yesterday, I think, sure, he threw a screen and went 40 yards, right? It's nothing to
60.
throw,
Yeah, that
throw a
helps.
parade over it. But what we needed to see, like we said last week when we were sitting here, we needed to see him look like an NFL quarterback, and I thought he did that. He commanded the huddle. The ball was out of time. He showed poise. He played with purpose. And listen, the defense did all the heavy lifting. He just had to be the standard, and that's what we wanted to see. Because to do that, he had to earn a second start, and he's gotten it. So for me, I like it all, man. I love the fact that they're giving him another opportunity. Hopefully he grows into it. Week 2 hopefully looks better. But look, 11 for 20, 209 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Good start.
Yeah, you're way more optimistic than I am. He had 11 completions and the defense had 10 sacks. So as much as it was the Shedeur Sanders-led victory, I'd say it's the Cleveland Browns defense that led victory. I thought that the one long ball that he had where it rolled out looked very similar to Colorado. I was happy he didn't get sacked multiple times. He only had the 1 sack. I thought that was really positive. And in terms of his comments after the game, that you showed that one clip, but there were other clips where I wish he would slow down a little bit with the victory laps that he's taking over one team.
I'm sorry.
One game.
Do we not know the history of the Cleveland Brown quarterback room? The daunting purgatory they've been in?
I've lived the history of the Cleveland Browns,
Right.
and I was there the last time a rookie quarterback won, which was Eric Zier in 1995 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Getting referenced a lot yesterday.
Yeah, and that that didn't work out either. So I'm just saying I would maybe slow your flow a little bit on beating the Raiders, who now fired their offensive coordinator and another coach, before you take a bunch of victory laps.
I disagree.
Yeah, I thought Shedeur was better than I expected him to be by a little. And I thought he looked better than Dylan Gabriel.
Yes.
And so I'm glad he was named the starter, even though Gabriel cleared the concussion protocol. I didn't want it to be like, well, he's still hurt and we're going to just, he's going to get a start de facto. I feel like he's earned another start. I just think that it is very hard for me to imagine Shedeur Sanders dominating the rest of the year, where Cleveland will go into this offseason thinking they don't need to draft another quarterback.
No, but
that's so he's talking about getting all of the reps. I don't know who's going to give him all of these reps that he so desperately craves.
this is why you earn it week after week. What we're talking about is a spark. He's giving the Cleveland Browns a spark. Now, is he a long-term answer? That has to be seen. He has to prove that. But you're talking about a defense in Myles Garrett, who you paid a boatload of money to be him. He's been him. So now if you're Kevin Stefanski, you can wrap a run game around this young man, properly prepare him like he's been talking about, and give him an opportunity to thrive. If you're the Cleveland Browns right now, this whole situation with your quarterback room has been disastrous, starting with Deshaun Watson and on. You finally have a fan base that are really calling for Shedeur Sanders. Ride this wave, and hopefully he continues to produce. So I love the spark. I don't think he needs to slow down. I think he just needs to continue to show why he thinks he's him.
But is this a wave or is this a little ripple in the water?
This is his first start.
I understand that.
And he won, by the way.
But I don't think he won. They had 10 sacks. He had 11 completions.
Well, Coach,
it's not like he went and lit it up.
Yeah, but defenses, that's what you do in defense. You get sacks, and you're supposed to do it
You
against a
don't
bad
get
team.
10 sacks, Willie. I mean, that's abnormal.
Nobody thought the Raiders had a great offensive line. We know the Browns are a really good defense. My point to it all is the defense did what the defense needed to do. We needed to see what Shedeur could do, and I thought he delivered.
I also, just for the content side of it, people kind of lose their minds on it. They're like, why did Kevin Stefanski barely shout him out after the game? Why did they go Wildcat? Ooh, did you see Andrew Barry's hug in the locker room? Like, everyone needs to just relax a little bit. Like, we're going to get to see it. He's going to get to keep playing, and I'll root for the kid. I'll root for him. I'll say that. Because he is good content.
I love him.
You love him?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking for a new watch because of it.
I do like a fine wine. To me, if the question is, are they the best team in the NFL, the answer is an obvious yes, and the question is by how much. Like, I have questions about every team in the league other than the Rams. I don't even know what I would doubt about the Rams at this point. Like, if I had to say what is a weakness, like if you've got the number one scoring defense in the NFL with the quarterback who leads the NFL in touchdown passes and a coach that we trust who we know can win at the highest levels, like what am I questioning about you? And the pedigree of having 30 touchdowns at this point of the year and a defense that's allowing 17 or fewer games, we've seen it twice in NFL history. And it was Brady in 07. He won the MVP. That team was pretty good. And Marino in 84. They lost the Super Bowl, but that was Marino's only MVP. Like, it's just, at this point, we're deep enough into the year where I can say, Coach, they're the best team, and the question is how big is the gap between them and number 2?
Yeah, watching that game last night, I thought it was going to go a lot differently than it did, but they got out on top early, and then Baker throws the pass that bounces off of Otten's arms and pick 6. And then Baker gets hurt. I really was interested to see.
It got away from him.
Yeah, how well Tampa could have matched up with him had things just gone a little bit differently at the beginning. But that's the thing the Rams can do to you, is they can not only get on top of you, but then they can load up. And every mistake that you make puts you that much further behind, because it's not like there's a lot of wasted series on their part. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to catch that offense, especially with their defense playing as consistently as they played.
Yeah, I agree with you, Coach. When we turned on the film, it looked like we witnessed a mugging last night. They were up 21-0, and it was early in the second quarter. I'm saying to myself, how's this over? I expected Tampa to come out knuckles up, ready to fight. It didn't happen, and obviously you mentioned Baker going down with the shoulder. But I think the interesting thing about the Rams right now, as well as they've been playing, it seems like they can get better, especially with I talk about their 13 personnel. You talk about Devontae and Puka being able to win on one-on-one on the outside. And you're looking at Kyron Williams and the rest of this offensive line. Like, if they continue to stay healthy and the way Stafford's playing, they can grow and be like one. We talk about the light show. They can be the new light show for the NFL. And so I'm just amazed by them. And right now, they've planted their flag as the best team in the NFC, and I don't think it's close. I think they smoke the Eagles right now if they was to play them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've seen that game before, so I know Eagles fans would probably take umbrage with that. Every time they get in the red zone, they're coming away with a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's the thing that it feels like they capitalize on every opportunity that presents itself to them. And part of it is building up Stafford's case because he keeps throwing the ball inside the 5-yard line and stacking up his touchdowns. But I really don't see a weakness in that team.
And then when you've got a guy like Devontae Adams, who you saw I think it was the first touchdown where the corners clearly got outside leverage. They're obviously taking away the fade, and then Devontae's able to give him a slight inside fake and still get outside of him and score. It's just like, as a defensive back coach, you're raising your hands up.
What more can you do?
How are we going to stop this?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.